All right, Shalom. First and foremost, giving all praise, glory, and honor that's due to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rachak, double honor to the elders and apostles of Grand Millstone who rule well, peace and blessings to the 144,000 and the hopeful elect. Shalom Barakathum. This is going to be somewhat of a response. I don't really have many precepts lined up against the a response to the video I saw of the elder Manat Zakba dealing with some Christians, which Christians are some of the lowest people that you can read or run into that read the Bible. And the reason I say that is because they know enough to know better, okay? And their behavior is very snake-like and it's very sinister-like, because that is basically the culture of Christianity, to come out of the Bible, but really have this serpent-like attitude towards things. The modern-day church is essentially a business, okay? That's what you have to realize, okay? That's why everything costs money. That's why everything it's fluffed and put behind soft words. They never go into prophecies. They never want to go into things that are hard or harsher, even though the Bible tells us we have to eat the whole roll. As a matter of fact, I'm going to get that real quick, okay? Because what Christians like to do is partition the Bible into the Old Testament and the New Testament, the Old Covenant and the New Covenant. They're lacking a lot of understanding, okay? And then they end up doing or following after the ways of who the Lord declared as the wicked, okay? We didn't declare them as the wicked, the Most High did, and we concur. That's why we believe what we believe, because we agree, It ain't the other way around, okay? Y'all try to say that we're hateful and all it is. No, the Lord hated him first, okay? And we agree, all right? It ain't, we're not projecting this into, we can go right to the scriptures and tell you this, but y'all cut these things out and partition things because you have a worldview. That's what Christianity is, okay? For those of you that are confused about why, we don't really believe in what Christians believe, even though we believe out of the same Bible, okay? This is let me see, where is it? Let me see. The roll. This is Ezekiel chapter 3, okay, verse 1. Moreover, he said unto me, Son of man, eat that thou findest, eat this roll, and go speak unto the house of Israel. Okay, so first of all, you have to understand the entirety of the Bible, number one, before you start going out there and teaching. Now, this guy came up to the elder out there in South Carolina wanting to teach, and he don't know. We already know you don't know the prophecies, man. They're just books that y'all have never even read, okay? Y'all have such large gaps in just knowledge, okay, that there's no way you could understand it, because you need to have the knowledge of it first before you can understand something, okay? Understanding comes after you get knowledge, all right? But y'all don't even have the knowledge. There's just parts of the Bible y'all just never heard of before. And then you coming up trying to teach us, thinking that you know better, okay, when there's a lot of context missing, okay? It says, verse 2, so I opened my mouth, and he caused me to eat that roll. And he said unto me, Son of man, cause thy belly to eat, and fill thy bowels with this roll that I give thee. All right, that means we got to eat the entirety of it, man, okay? Even the bitter parts, even the parts that people don't want to hear. And this is what Christianity has a major divergence from the Bible and what they believe, okay? Why? Because they have a profit margin. They have a profit incentive, okay? They get these big buildings with a mortgage, and then all of a sudden, they gotta manage members and how many people are in their congregation, to keep the lights on and to pay these bills. And so what happens? Your doctrine gets perverted over time. You tend to just say things that make people feel better, all right? And before you know it, God is only love, Before you know it, you just got to forgive everybody. Before you know it, anybody can make it, because those doctrines are profitable, okay? That's why you believe what you believe. That's why it's so widespread. That's why the majority of Christians believe this. Okay? But what do the scriptures say? Speaking about the majority. Matthew 7:13 says, enter ye in at the straight gate. This is the Lord speaking. This is red letter. Okay? Enter ye in at the straight gate, for wide is the gate and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction. So there are how many billions of Christians in the world? I'm going to look it up real quick. Okay? $2.6 billion Christians in the world, okay? And y'all have done what? What is the world doing? Go look at America, where it's supposed to be a Christian nation. What do you have? Number one in child videos, production and consumption. Okay, you have the most people locked up in prison. You have the most income inequality. All right, you have the most bodies than any other nation. Y'all just kill people, just for the sake of it, man. Okay, you've thrown coups in I don't know how many countries. You rob people with the U.S. dollar. All right, you had World War I, World War II. That's 120 million right there, and both of those that died. And you're getting ready to do it again. Okay, so Christianity doesn't work. Okay, it doesn't matter because you're the wide gate. Okay, that's why it's going to lead to destruction. That's why you can't. That's why y'all are clamoring over members. Okay, you're trying to come up to Hebrew Israelite camps to try to teach us. We can't be taught by you people, man. Okay, y'all don't understand the scriptures, man. You know some precepts, all right, but you don't even understand those in context. So you are who the Lord is talking about. All right, it says, for wide is the gate and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, and many there be which go in thereat. What is the Christian number? 2.6 billion Christians. Okay, all right. So the Lord is not dealing with you people. All right, you are a stumbling block for the wicked. Okay, you are something that people deceive themselves into believing, so the Lord can just destroy you, because really the spirit in you isn't right. You can get mad all you want and say we use curse words or we sound improper, but the Lord literally cursed people. So y'all don't even understand that. The Lord is furious. The Lord is angry. Okay, the Lord hates. All right, I'm gonna get that in a second. This is Matthew chapter 7 verse 22. Okay, it says, many will say to me in that day, Lord, Lord, have we not prophesied in thy name, and in thy name cast out devils, and in thy name done many wonderful works? Okay, the Lord does not care about that. You're either written in the book of life or you're not. Okay, and there are traits and characteristics of individuals whose name would be written. Okay, that's what we're living up to. That's what we hope for. All right, notice I said hope. Where a Christian will deceive you and tell you that you can be saved right now. I've been saved since 1998. That's a lie. That's destruction. That's destruction, man. Okay, how are you saved past tense from something that haven't happened yet? The day of the Lord is yet to come. Okay, so that's another lie that they tell you, because they're there to pacify you, okay, to put you at ease. A lot of these Christian doctrines that came out after we got off the plantation, it was there to pacify us, man, the so-called black man. Okay, it was there to keep the Northern Kingdom, the Latin tribes in check. Okay, that's what it's there for. That's what it's a curation of what's in the Bible. See, there's more than one religion that comes out of the Bible. Okay, Islam, okay, that rooted out of the Bible. Okay, but do they follow the Bible? No, they follow the Quran. Okay, Catholicism, that's rooted out of the Bible, but do they follow the Bible? No, they follow something called canon law. Okay, or canon law. Look it up. That's what the Pope reads out of. Okay, you have Judaism. Okay, That's based, their religion is so-called based out of the Bible, but do they follow the Bible? No, they follow the Talmud, okay? So just because you coming out of the Bible does not mean you have the understanding of what's getting ready to happen, okay? And Christianity is just another, the latest flavor of reprobates, okay? The Lord is pissed off, okay? I forgot what I said I was gonna get, okay? But it says, I'm gonna get this in Luke real quick. Luke chapter 6, verse 46, it says, and why call ye me Lord, Lord, and do not the things which I say? Okay? See, Christians is that you were there to just put the Most High in a safety deposit box for emergencies, okay? Oh, my home gonna get my car about to get repossessed. Oh, my home is gonna get foreclosed on. Then you call on the Lord, okay? I can't find a man. Let me call on the Lord. Okay, but you should have been doing what the Lord told you to do the whole time, man. Y'all switch it on and off when you're in front of people. Okay? A lot of you are demons. Okay? And this is a front. All right? A lot of you are demons all throughout the week, and then you go to church on Sunday and you deceive yourself into thinking that you're forgiven because you called on a name that ain't even his name. All right? The Lord got something special for you people, man. All right? Y'all are you're dried out, you're played out. You don't have any answers. All right? Now these Christian theologians, they're just now starting to go back into prophecy because the Hebrew Israelites, we forced y'all to do so. Okay? That's really what happened. Y'all were just recycling the same old precepts, getting people to donate money, telling them you ain't got to keep the law, but the law of tithes, you got to keep that law. You know? Which don't make any damn sense. Y'all don't understand what the Lord is getting ready to do. Y'all don't understand what time it is, but the Lord wants it that way. Okay? This is Isaiah 29:10. For the Lord Yahweh had poured out upon you the spirit of deep sleep, and had closed your eyes. The prophets and your rulers, the seers, hath he covered. So your people in these pulpits, they don't know what's going on. The Lord did this because the Lord doesn't want you, because what's inside of you it's rancid, it's wicked. Okay? You have to be chosen by the Lord. You can't just get saved. Okay? Let me see here. Where is it? Let me find it real quick. So many precepts coming to mind. Zechariah 9:12, it says, turn ye to the stronghold, ye prisoners of hope. Okay? There is no I can be saved. No, I've been saved. Okay? There is no I've been saved. That don't even make no damn sense. But y'all don't question it because it makes you feel good. That's effeminate, okay? It's effeminate to just go with the thing that makes you feel good instead of logically evaluating whether or not it makes sense. If the day of the Lord hadn't come yet, how the hell can you be saved? All right? It says it here, verse 12, Zechariah 9:12, turn ye to the stronghold, ye prisoners of hope. We are prisoners of hope. Okay? That means we don't know if we're going to be saved, but we pray and we hope. Okay? That's what that means. Okay? You don't have any humility. You're proud. To just say you're saved. Who the hell are you to say that you're saved? It says, even to the day do I declare, I will render double unto thee. All right? When I have bent the bow for Judah, when I have bent Judah for me, filled the bow with Ephraim, and raised up thy sons, O Zion, against thy sons, O Greece, and has made thee as a sword of a mighty man. All right, has this happened yet? Okay? Y'all don't even want to fight. Y'all are sitting up here trying to save Christians, and the Lord is about to make us into a weapon. Okay? The righteous powers and judges on the earth. There's so many bugged out doctrines that come out of these churches, man. This is John 6:44. It says, no man can come to me except the Father which hath sent me draw him, and I will raise him up at the last day. So only the Lord can do it. You can't just call on the name and then say you're saved. You made that up. Only the Lord can do it. And then it says, and I will raise him up at the last day. Are we at the last day yet? No. So how the hell have you been saved? All right? There's a lot of pride that the Lord is going to have to rip out of people, man. Okay? He speaks about the pomp of this place being brought low. Okay? Isaiah 5:14, it says, therefore hell hath enlarged herself and opened her mouth without measure. That means a lot of death is getting ready to take place. All right? It says, and their glory and their multitude and their pomp, and he that rejoiceth shall descend into it. So if you notice, you wouldn't be walking around proud talking about you saved, man. Okay, you would have a healthy dose of the fear of the Lord in you. Okay? Ezekiel 7:24, wherefore I will bring the worst of the heathen, and they shall possess their houses, and I will also make the pomp of the strong to cease, and their holy places shall be defiled. That's you 2.6 billion Christians, okay? With all of this money flying around, and y'all can't get nothing done, okay? Y'all can't even get homelessness cleaned up. The Lord is gonna kill you, man, okay? Y'all play too much. You play too damn much, man. Coming in the name of the Lord. Y'all have any idea how angry and furious the Lord is? Verse 25, destruction cometh, and they shall seek peace, and there shall be none. Okay, so there's going to come a day where you're going to want to really and truly call on the name of the Lord. Not just bullshitting in a church somewhere, praising and singing dancing and praise music. No, y'all are going to really call and seek the Lord. And guess what? He ain't going to be nowhere to be found for you, man, because y'all play too much, man. Y'all think this is a game. Okay? See, this is just a religion to y'all. Y'all don't really, it ain't really in you to believe, but that's okay. Because the Lord set you up for that. Last precept, and I'm going to get this. Okay. Revelation chapter 3, verse 5. It says, he that overcometh, the same shall be clothed in white raiment, and I will not blot out his name out of the book of life. Okay? You see that? But you got to overcome. Okay? At the end, the Lord is going to start blotting out names, and blotting out names. Okay? You ever see one of them CIA documents where ain't but one sentence you can read because the rest of it is just blacked out, it's redacted? You know, that's what the Lord is going to start doing. Okay, because Israel is the lot of his elect, but only a third of Israel is going to make it. Okay. It says, and I will not blot out his name out of the book of life, but I will confess his name before my Father and before his angels. Okay. So when the time comes, y'all are going to see. Okay. Y'all are going to find out the hard way. All right. Anyway, I'll end it there. Low Wilderness is edifying. On to the next. Shalom.